Hello and welcome back to the channel. So recently, Chamath Palihapitiya came on CNBC to announce that IPOB was set to merge with OpenDoor to take the company public. This SPAC, IPOB, had rallied around 30 to 40% on this announcement. His previous SPAC that he used to take Virgin Galactic to the public markets also proved to be extremely successful. But will these speculative SPACs benefit the retail investors buying into them and justify the premium pricing that they actually demand? Just this year, more than 100 new SPACs raising roughly $40 to $50 billion have been created. Chamath himself said that he has reserved IPO A, B, C, all the way to Z on the New York Stock Exchange. The fact is that quantitative easing combined with low interest rates has left many investors and speculators looking for anything that promises a high growth and high rate of return. And in come all these SPACs as a home for all this liquidity that's sloshing around in the market, offering valuations at multiples much higher than what the company would be valued otherwise at, say, in the private markets. Chamath has said that the targets he looks for when finding potential companies to merge his SPACs with should have a 10x in 10 years. Now, that's a very bold target, but if there's anybody who's got a track record of identifying great businesses that could do that, it's definitely Chamath. There's a reason that I'm trying to draw a comparison to the strategy that Chamath is using to what Softbank had tried to do years ago. Softbank always has had the objective of trying to find asymmetric returns. For example, they invested around $20 million in Alibaba when the company was, not the huge giant that it is now. At that time, it was still relatively unknown. That initial 20 million investment actually turned into 60 billion when Alibaba had its IPO. That's a lot more zeros in there. And today, the SoftBank stake in Alibaba, even accounting for the portion that's being sold off, is in excess of 100 billion, from 20 million to 100 billion. This is the same sort of strategy that I see Chamath following with all the special purpose acquisition companies that he is creating. He's trying to find asymmetric returns. With his background in technology, fact-based perception about the market, and the multiple connections that he has in Silicon Valley, he does have an edge due to the insight that he has gained from all this experience that he has. But it's impossible to predict the future of a company where the future is filled with hopes and its valuation is priced like there's an endless supply of liquidity in the market. All the companies merging with SPACs and going public paint a very rosy sort of future, but we never know when the disruptors actually become the disrupted. I totally agree with what he's doing, since the time to take risk is when there's abundant liquidity in the market, because this is when risk is most rewarded in the market. It would be interesting to see how these SPAC mergers actually fare once the liquidity from the market starts to decrease. I don't think the rates are going to be raised anytime soon, and there's probably going to be a lot of liquidity in the market. But imagine a scenario where rather than trying to get WeWork to do an IPO, if Softbank had decided to use the SPAC route and list it in the public markets through a merger with a SPAC. We all know what happened to WeWork and how Softbank had to write down a portion of its investment. But if they had taken the company public using a SPAC merger, then the brunt of that loss would have actually been on retail investors who had bought into the SPAC and then before it merged with WeWork. The companies that are being picked out for the special purpose acquisition companies to merge with are definitely fantastic companies, but how many of them actually do well in the long term is anybody's guess. Irrespective of how individual SPACs fare, I'm quite certain that Chamath and his investors will tend to do extremely well. Even if, say, 40% of the SPAC merge companies fail, 30% do okay, 20% get a 3 to 5x, and 10% get a 10x or higher, the returns for his investors, who would presumably be diversified amongst this group of SPACs, would probably be extraordinary over the long term. Softbank was able to deliver on what it had said it would, and I think Chamath would also be able to do the same. Hopefully. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you currently invested in any of the SPACs that are out there? If you are invested, do let me know which SPAC that you're looking at and also why. And I'm really interested in getting more perspectives about people who are invested in SPACs. So if you like the video, then do hit like, hit subscribe, that helps out the channel. And as always, thank you for watching.